Amdocs has been in the software telecommunication business for a very long time. And we deal with I would say we are probably the core engine that the telecommunication runs on. But the business is evolving, and we have in Amdocs Next, I basically gathered, I would say, the domains and the technologies that are now at the forefront of the development of our domain, which include IoT, big data and analytics, cyber, payments, and some other more, I would say, still secret projects. And we're basically, first of all, we're structuring them in a way that will allow growth, and also in a way that we do not necessarily come with a product to our customers. It's a more of a solution set. It's more of a, I would say, consultative-based approach. And we do have technological assets. We have hundreds of programmers, but because in some of my cases there are no RFPs for the stuff that I'm doing. So in some cases there are only the beginning of RFPs or RFIs even. So Amdocs Next is the next of Amdocs in the context that we look at the next domains for our industry and try to actually create leadership and meaningful products and services for our customers. On one side you have very intelligent teams, data scientist teams working on the actual models and the potential of AI, but they're disconnected, I would say, from the scalability and making it operational across the entire organization, and also usable by the end consumer. In that case, that would be the business side. So having a model does not mean that you can now operationalize having real-time information for the business owners to get insights. On the other side, you have teams on the technical side working on the infrastructure, the cloud operations and everything, but it's not connected to the data models, and again, not connected to the end business user. And I think that interesting triangle between data scientists, the statistical work, and the data science work, the operational side and the business side, is what we have to solve. And that's kind of my end-to-end mission, and something that we at Amdocs Next, the data intelligence team, really try to solve. And we think we bring the right and different types of data skills to the table. The understanding of the business side, understanding of the scale side, because that's where we come from. We come from scale and complexity. The complexity of connecting all the data points is massive, and it's sometimes something that it requires not necessarily a technical skill, but an orchestration skill. And that's something that we work very hard on, and we develop some concepts which I think are very useful, not concepts, products, based on advanced concepts which actually present the data to the end user in a meaningful and actionable way. And that's something super important. So based on my real business experience in a telco, using AI in order to improve my business results, I found that the impact was profound, nothing less than that. From conversion rates of a specific product that we started using AI and machine learning for, that were the regular industry conversion rates of 3-4%, we went up to conversion rates by targeting the right customers, using these models. It went up 10-fold, 15-fold. It was almost unbelievable, or we really had to check ourselves to make sure that we're not, that this is not, for me it seemed like almost magic. I think so. The value is twofold. First of all, for me as a business owner then, it was of course much better results, so there's no doubt about that. But there's two additional as important values. First of all, the customer. You're targeting the customer who really needs the solution. Mm-hmm. If I have 10 customers and I'm just, I would say, just rapid fire promotion type of thing, then you're being bombarded by things you might not need, and it's much more valuable for the telco to ask me a question which is relevant and I say yes. There's another hidden champion in this that I found, and I really liked the impact, which was the employee. The employee selling, or this could be like even the customer support person, who does not have to deal with 10 no's and 1 yes. He deals with 3 no's and 1 yes. a no is like a psychological, it's something that you have to deal with, and actually getting much better customer interaction just makes your job nicer. So that was kind of a hidden impact of AI, which I really like to discover. But in essence, if you think about and I'll go high, a society in which you're offered only the things that are relevant for you and you like, perfect world. And for the telco, it's not to spend, or for any organization, not to spend resources where it's not needed, and not to bother the customer when it's not required, and to provide a service that is valuable, is what we're after. So, it's a win-win. There are several super exciting domains that we're looking at. I think one of the most interesting domains in AI that I think we're taking kind of the lead on, and it's been my and my team's mission to actually propagate, is the fact that we actually need another new type of AI, something that we call the Uber AI, and that's the AI that orchestrates all the other AIs. Why do you need that? As an industry and the way things have developed, we have tended to look at use cases where AI is relevant. So it could be on the operational side, maybe on the churn side, maybe on the conversion side, disconnected areas. The thing is with AI is that you, as a human being, do not see the connections that an AI can make. And people have not put an AI on top of all the other AIs to see maybe there are connections that we're not seeing, and to orchestrate it, and to make decisions that are not necessarily good vertically, but are good, that optimize the situation. So I think what we're looking at now is kind of the second generation of the implementation of AI, AI 2.0, so to speak, and where AI used to be used as AI 1.0 was just to solve a use case. Now we're putting what we call a brain on top. And that brain will orchestrate the different AIs and actually get new insights that we didn't even expect, and actually optimize the answer, because a maximum answer on a vertical, like let's say sales, can, for instance, and I'll take an extreme case, be very harmful on the operational side. Because what if I, in order to get a little bit more revenue, need to now put up too many new sell points? Just a very simplistic answer. So an optimum AI, a brain, will actually be much more strategic and much more horizontal in its view. And if you think about it, this is how nature evolved, right? We have one brain. Our hands don't have a brain. Our legs don't have a brain. We have one brain commanding the different types of the parts of the body. And we think that telcos need a brain to command different parts of the organization and orchestrate the entire thing. So that's one area that we're really excited about and we're leading. The other area is the combination between AI and IoT. And I think that will also be profound for the industry, and also that's a place where we're looking to take leadership in. And basically the premise is as follows. IoT devices will generate so much data that without AI, it will just be an information overload that doesn't give me, as a customer of the IoT devices or solutions, interesting insights. You have to have AI in order to sort through the mess and actually give me not 300 alerts that the door was open and closed, or that there's a temperature change because now there's a minute temperature change in the room. But if the door opened and closed too many times today, and that had a correlation also with something to do with the temperature, and maybe another door opening on the other side of the building, give me that kind of insight and say, every time this and this and that happened, we have an event, and now we have an event which is an anomaly. Take a look at that alert. That's interesting. That's, and that has various applications. It could be for, I can give you applications in the home for elderly people who, you don't need to put cameras to take care of elderly people, but if they don't go into the living room as they do at 2 p.m. every day, then that's an anomaly. Let's check on them. And you don't have to have nurses running around the country, which costs a lot of money. So it could be profound on elderly care and smart homes. It could be profound for smart businesses who have to take care of their stock and refrigerate it in the right temperature, and that's things I already started doing, so I can tell you with evidence that it's impactful. And I think in the next 2 to 3 years, as IoT gets bigger and AI more advanced, the combination of the two will make a big impact. On the massive scale ones, what we're looking at, we are actually, I believe, I would dare say, the market leader in what we call eSIM solutions. So that's actually something that relatively new in the market and enabling CSPs to actually launch eSIM devices, be it mobile devices, but it can be laptops or the likes, all connected devices, or a lot of connected devices will now be launched with eSIM, and it changes the operational side and the customer care side. So in Amdocs, we have a solution that really takes care of that end to end. So that's one thing that we're rolling out globally. We're working on I talked before about the brain. That's the digital and intelligence solution, which we're very excited about, and we're already starting to do that in several territories. We have a very interesting solution that also connected to the AI topic, that we're actually looking how AI can really change the paradigm of customer interaction in the broadband domain. So we actually call it Home AI, and it's not about smart speakers, it's not about asking Alexa to play your Spotify playlist. It's actually giving users insights, the end user, the homeowner, insights about what is happening in their home based on the broadband activity, and that's something that we think customers will find very valuable. And we also have solutions in the payment domain that we're really excited about, mainly in the APAC regions, allowing people to actually interact with digital services in a new way. And here I'll have to not reveal more than that. Several solutions in several domains. I think IoT is a super interesting one. We're also getting into the what we call B2B IoT, so enabling telcos to launch services that will enable their enterprise customers to manage IoT devices. And I think that covers it. I've actually been very pleasantly surprised. There is almost a consensus, an absolute consensus on the fact that we do need, when I talk to my clients about this, what we talked about before, the AI 2.0, the brain kind of approach, that it's definitely something they need, because the people I talk to have the macro view and they see the different activities in the different domains in their company, and they realize that we need some type of orchestration. The challenge becomes then an operational challenge. How do you productize it? How do you scale it? How do you operationalize it in a way that fits their specific organization? And usually the combination of the technology side and then the organizational side becomes kind of the project itself. So I'm very happy and excited about the feedback. And I am looking forward to overcoming these challenges, because they're real challenges. We cannot deny it. It's not a typical product that you have an RFP and everybody knows what they're doing. Many times we're kind of we're dealing in a domain that we're kind of not inventing as we go, but actually we're creating things that were not created before, and creating new paradigms. And but we have great customer relationships and the long-term view. So we're in it for to see the real value, and it's coming. I'm sure it's coming. I almost have this kind of question. It's kind of a recurring question in such a digital age. Why to visit places where you can find information online? But coming here to the summit, first of all, the people I've met have been great. People from senior people in the telecommunication industry, fellow vendors and analysts, and the amount of views you find yourself exposed to in a very short amount of time, one after the other, I think is the only real way to get the perspective of where we are. I try at least to read a lot, I try to research, I have a lot of meetings with many customers and partners, but coming to an event like this, which was super well organized, and the content of the lectures was really great. I think I'm coming out of it with a much better understanding of where we are and what we need to do.